Hello and welcome to your monthly Canvas transfer video. Feel free to stop this video at any point to catch up or to read anything that you need, like these instructions. You're going to need to have all of these bits available to be able to partake in this transfer. So here we have all the bits you're going to need. You've got your canvas, you've got your carbon paper, your printout of your design, your masking tape, pencil and pencil sharpener. I'm using a red pencil so that I can see where I've written. I've gone over. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the printed outline onto the canvas, center it so that it's nice and central with a little bit of masking tape. So here I'm doing that for you. Make sure it's nicely lined up in the center where you want it before you anchor it down. Don't need too much masking tape. Now you're going to take your carbon paper, and the carbon paper has two sides. It has a shiny side and it has a matte side. It's always shiny side down. So we're going to slip that underneath your printed copy. Make sure that it's underneath all of your image. And I tend to put like 2 little bits of masking tape either side just so that it doesn't move, because it's really important that this image and the carbon do not move during this process. Make sure your pencil's nice and sharp, and then just go over all the black lines that you see with your pencil. There's no need to press too hard. That's the key. Don't press too hard, or this happens. Or you'll just get too much of a thick image underneath. You just want a little outline, really, of the main image onto the canvas. So give that pencil a little bit of a sharpen, and I'm going to go back to it. Now, as I said, I'm using a red pencil. You can use any colour other than black, just to make sure that you've gone over all the lines, so you can actually see the red lines over and above the dark lines. And then you just take your time, nice and slowly, therapeutically, going over all the lines. And that will transfer, as I said, onto the canvas underneath. It looked quite nice once you've actually finished doing that. But just take your time so that you cover all of those black lines. Make sure your paper or your carbon does not move during this process. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to work my way all the way around the edge. So you can see, that's it. Some of the lines you might not need to go over, like maybe when you get a bit further down, some of the fine detail, you can just make a mark so that you know that, oh, that's where the stamen goes, or that's where the actual vein goes, or, you know, you don't have to go over every single mark, but it gives you an anchor where to put your colour when you come to doing your painting. And also, if you've got a little bit of a faint line underneath the painting, when you finish the painting, I tend to outline it with a Sharpie marker, or, I mean, I usually use a paintbrush, and I outline it in black or brown with a paintbrush. But for beginner painters, just a Sharpie pen to mark all those outlines makes the painting pop right at the end. And this video is going to take about 20 minutes. So as I said earlier, you can stop, start, fast forward, or just watch till the end and then start creating your one. But this canvas that I've actually bought for this exercise is around an 8 by 10, which is slightly bigger than A4, So if you print your copy onto an A4 sheet and you transfer it onto an 8x10, that gives you a nice border around the outside. So an 8x10 canvas will be fine for this task. But as we watch the transfer, I'll show you how to check it in a moment or two. Right, so before we move on to the middle bit, this is how I'm going to show you how to check it, but keeping that firmly hand down on it so it doesn't move. Like I've put my hand in the middle, just lift it gently, just to check that all the elements that have been transferred. I can just see there's a little bit there that I've missed, so I'm going to go over that. And then I'll check it again, just to make sure. There's another little bit missing there. even with a red pen, you can still miss bits out, but just make sure you keep your hand in the middle when you lift that canvas, the paper and the carbon. You still don't want it to move. And it's a good time to check this one before you actually move on to the middle. So now secure it back down again. Turn your canvas around. Oh, yeah, just do this one last flower. And again, this is a colouring exercise of canal art inspired projects. So there is a special technique of doing canal art, roses and daisies and castles, but this is just to give you a feel of, you know, how, you know, you can paint something in the style of roses and castles. You know, if you want to do a more detailed course, then there's always that available, but this is a nice fun entry way of creating something beautiful quite easily. Okay, we're going to move on to doing the castle. Give that pencil a little bit of a sharpen again. It's best to try and keep it as sharp as possible, so that you just get a fine line, as I said earlier. Right, we're going to move on to the castle scene, and it's just repeat, really. Just go over the lines of the castle scene. Right, I think I'm coming near to the end. Let's hold it in the middle, lift it and double check and have a look and see if I've missed anything. Again, as I said, try keeping that top paper in its same position. And that looks pretty good. I've marked, as you saw, the border, which I'll paint in after, or drawing afterwards. Okay, so now I'm going to draw in the border lines with my ruler, and it doesn't really matter what colour pencil you got this time. I'm just using a normal graphite pencil. And earlier in the video I had marked the corners and a little marking of where each one of those lines need to join and stop. So I'm going to join up those lines. So that we've got a nice even border. And that'll anchor the castle scene in the middle when you come to painting. I mean, I would be tempted to put masking tape along that border line so that I get a nice crisp border and paint my castle first. And then when you've lifted it, then you can paint your flowers on the outside. But it's personal preference, it's your project. I'm just showing you how to transfer it onto the canvas so that you can colour it and have it ready to put on your wall as your achievement, your little masterpiece. Okay, so that looks finished and ready to go. Well, thank you for taking the time to watch the whole video with me, and this is what it's going to look like, hopefully, your project one, once you've finished painting it. And I look forward to all of the finished paintings inside the Heritage Club Facebook Lounge. So, bye from me.